Hi guys, this is Katja with Creative Image Studio. This week I'm sharing my latest craft idea with you guys and I hope you like it, so let's take a look. And here's the first one with Papers by Scrapberries. Who knows that brand still? I think they may even be out of business. I don't know, I haven't heard from them in a while. Haven't seen any new paper collections, but anyway, I had some papers in my stash. So it says for jou, for you in Dutch. And I only added a little bow here, and a magnetized closure. So it is really all about the paper. It is really my style, showcasing the paper. And of course you could go all out and add all kinds of decorations, but I'm not prone to do that. So here's the inside. So it's pretty simple two folds here and then a little gatefold like that. So it's very easy to create, as you can see, and look at the nice effect that you can achieve. Here I stamped a birthday sentiment, and again here as well, hoera, it says in Dutch, so hooray. And here is room to write your message. So that is the first one. So pretty simple. You really can do this and you can make it fairly quickly, and you only need one strip of cardstock, actually 12 inches wide by, well, whatever height you may prefer, and then you just fold it like that and you're done. So that is that. Same papers but larger. Look at the different sizes here. This is a card that I created for my mother, so for Mother's Day actually, and I chose a piece of paper that says true love is forever. So this sentiment is already in the paper, so that is brilliant. And the only thing I did here is add some blings and some decorative elements by Prima Marketing. Again, easy peasy, and showcase the paper because the paper itself already has its own beautiful decoration. Look at this lady here and then all of the flowers. Who needs to add to that, right? So I did add a little bling piece here to enhance simply the pattern that is already in the paper, and of course I chose a color that matches it exactly, but well, these are simple things you can do. You could also add a little flower here to the hat, something like that, but you don't always have to make things complex or, you know, time consuming to create. I did add some flowers here because I did want it to look a bit festive for Mother's Day, but you don't even have to do this. You could simply go on with all of the enamel accents or whatever you choose. Here is a little brad, so I could create a swing tab closure. I found these swivel pieces here. I found them on AliExpress. Don't ask me what search term I used because I forgot, but I did find them. So here is a simple one-piece flap. So there's no gatefold here, and I just wanted to play. It's not really a useful flap. It's just, you know, for decorative purposes. It's just to add some interest to this card and also to play around with the different papers. This is one paper collection, by the way. I mean, it doesn't look like it because they seem like two different paper collections, but it is in fact one and the same paper collection. So here you go. So one decorative flap, and I use it primarily to cover up the text. So I will write my sentiment or my message, of course, to my mom. I write it here and then close it like this. And then I added some 3D flowers here. So of course they are a bit flattened because the card was closed, but you can just push those up. So again, easy peasy, fairly simple to do. You can use a die cut, you can use a punch, or in my case, I used some push outs, sort of die cut elements. And yeah, pretty simple. And then the bag, also very simple. I didn't have enough paper left to cover this up completely, so I used 2 scraps here of the same paper collection and enlarged my paper real estate. So that is a tip for you, and I call this a scrap mat, so a mat consisting of scraps. And if you want to know how to get this neat effect, I do have a free video tutorial on that technique on my channel. It's fairly old, so you'll have to scroll a long way back or click the link that I will put in the description below, and also I think at the end of this video. Anyway, so this is my large Mother's Day card. Then another quick card. This is a completely different style. This is more of a mixed media piece. these backgrounds you can create on one day and make a whole stack of them. You know, just commit the time that you allotted to crafting on a particular day to creating these backgrounds, playing around with inks and sprays and paints, etc. So when you're in a pinch and if you don't have much time, you only have to pick one of your backgrounds and stick them onto a card, which is what I have done. So this is a card that I just simply bought. It comes with an envelope. And I stuck one of my backgrounds that I had already done on some previous day. So that took me literally no time, just to crop it a bit to size, ink around the edges a bit, you know, just to get a great finish, and then decorate it with a die cut sentiment, and done. So there you go. So do some compartmentalized crafting, create your backgrounds some other day, and focus on the background and the spraying and the playing around with your inks. And you know, don't tell yourself, oh, I have to make a card, or I have to create this or that and the other, and then I have to go from the beginning to the end and I have to end up with a card. You know, that takes the fun out of crafting. So don't do that. Just, you know, play around with inks and then stick it on a card, stick a sentiment on it, and you're done. So this, in fact, goes to my uncle. So this, I think, is also ideal to send out to a man or to a guy. Usually they don't like the roses and the bows and the blings, so you just keep it straight and simple. And that is why I also chose a dark silver gunmetal grayish metallic paper to go with the die cut. And yeah, give it a bit of a masculine industrial feel. So yeah, it says happy birthday. Then going from the masculine to the feminine, and let's add some flowers and stuff to a card, and that is what we all love, don't we? So here you see a lot of flowers, some leaves. I even added a feather here. I love my decorative feathers. And then there is a sentiment here, home sweet home. So as you can guess, this is a welcome home card, and I always love to send my friend a welcome home card whenever she gets home from a vacation. And then I always put some tea into it. So this time I came prepared, because sometimes I miscalculate and then my pockets are not deep enough. But this time I created a little box pocket, as you can see here. So this is actually 1/4 of an inch deep, this pocket. So very easy to create, although it does take a bit more time than the other cards, because you do have to do some cutting and some folding and especially some measuring. You have to work precise to get this box pocket just right. I stamped welcome back, and what I like about this way of stamping is the color of the ink that I chose here. I could have gone for black or dark brown or dark green or any other darker color, which we usually choose when we start stamping sentiments. But if you choose a lighter color, like this Pebbles color by Ranger, this is an archival ink. This is a lighter color, and in my experience, this integrates better with your design paper. So it looks like it is already in the paper, like the text that you see here. This is also a lighter color. This is not dark brown or black or something like that. It doesn't look stamped. And so I chose a bit of a lighter color here to get that effect. So it looks like this paper came with this sentiment, and I like that. So what I'm going to do is, you know, put a tea bag into this box pocket, and this is wide enough to even put 2 if I want to, but I can also leave it like this. It will give me some room. And then I will probably either write here or maybe here, or put a little card behind it. I don't know yet. But this is what I made this for. And as you can see, it is still not wide enough. I think the next time I won't do a 1/4 inch, but probably 3/8 or even 1/2 of an inch. Didn't know that tea, so simple, would be so thick. But apparently it is. Well, you know, I will just put it in an envelope and that will press it closed. And I'm also thinking, you know, she would probably put it like this somewhere, and then it doesn't matter. She will drink the tea as soon as she gets back from a vacation. But this is a very springtime card. The papers are by Stamperia. And this is a 1-sheet purchase that I did. When you find 1 sheet of design paper, you can still create an entire card with it. And it is double-sided, so this is the back of that same paper sheet. So there you go. Now, speaking of one sheet purchases, I also bought one sheet of this paper collection, which is by Minte, and the collection is called Vacation, and the sheet is MTVAC03. So Minte Vacation sheet number 3 for all of you who want to try it for yourselves. And this is, of course, an entire beautiful, beautiful collection. But sometimes I don't need an entire collection. I just want to enjoy 1 or 2 sheets of this paper. So I bought one sheet, and this is a sheet with a lovely flamingo here and a lot of plants and stuff. So how to utilize that one sheet? You could create one card and then like this, matte, matte, even matte, and then you will have used up your entire sheet. Cut 4 mats, or you could layer, so 1 piece here and then 2 here, so layer, and then 4 is here, so that is also 1 sheet for 1 card. But what I did is created 2 cards with 1 sheet. So the first card is this one. Also very simple what I did here. I layered another piece of paper underneath it. This is something from my stash, sort of a metallic antique gold piece from Kane Company, very old, almost antique itself, in my stash. I dug it up and I thought, hey, I forgot about that one, so I used it here. So that is what I did. I chose the most beautiful quadrant in that sheet of paper. So in my opinion, that was this piece here with the flamingo. So I matted that on top, and then the only 2 things I did is stamp a sentiment here. So I chose an elaborate stamp, so to fill up this bit of a whitish corner here, and then added some flowers and a leaf here, so some decorations here. But look at how lovely this paper is. I really can't get over it. And then I used a second piece, so a second quadrant of that sheet of paper to decorate the inside of the card, and I will write my message here because that is sort of a natural whiteness here. Light colors are ideal to write, so I will do a bit of a diagonal writing here. So no more decorations needed. You could, of course, go for it anyway, but then I would suggest use flat decorations like these leaves, or some flat flowers, or some die cutting. That is what you will cut apart, that kind of thing. Don't choose these flowers to go on the inside. I'm sure I don't have to tell you all that, but in case you're a beginner and you haven't perhaps thought all of these things through yet, because you are at the beginning of your crafting journey, don't do any bulky elements because your card won't close. But yeah, very simple. So I left the inside blank, and I also left the back blank. So this is very functional. So I wanted it to be able to, to put it somewhere here and then have the message nicely decorated. But the rest, in fact, has no function. So I did not mat that, because that way I could create another card from that same paper sheet. So this is still one paper sheet. And here I did another design. I did show you a similar design in my video about my latest mini album. That is a steampunk mini album, and I showed you a similar card. So I used that same technique. That is no cardstock, just enjoying your paper, and you will need a bit of a sturdy kind of paper. Not every paper collection will be suitable for that, but the Minte papers are quite sturdy, quite heavy paper, so you can use them as such. So what I did is I did not measure anything. I just eyeballed it and started bending the paper and then pressing it flat and fold. So the measurements really don't matter as long as one of your parts here, one of the panels, should overlap the other. So you don't want it to be exactly in the middle. You want them to overlap, and either this way or that way, that also doesn't matter. So that is what I did. Then I did some decorative heat embossing here. So I chose sort of a pearlescent or pearl-like embossing powder, and I mixed it with another embossing powder to get a multicolored effect here. And I think I did well here. That was kind of a gamble, but it turned out fine. And then I added some flowers here. So that is the decoration that I did for this card. Now the thing that you see here is the closure piece, and of course a decorative element as well. You can use any kind of decoration paper that you please. I chose one with a gold metallic foiling because this is a birthday card and this looks very, very festive in my opinion. So I really like that effect, so I won't have to do anything else to it. But you could, of course, you could choose any paper that you like, cut sort of a tag, and then, you know, you can decorate. You can build this up with flowers and chipboard pieces and all of your decorative elements that suit your taste. Go ahead. You don't have to keep this flat. I did not go for that option because I like my cards to be clean, simple, elegant, sophisticated. Well, at least to my taste. You can, of course, have a different opinion. But the trick here is the closure mechanism. Because I made this tag slightly hang over here, well, not really hanging over it, I didn't glue it. So the glue actually goes like this on the back. So this entire part has no glue, so that way I can tuck this flap underneath this tag. That is all. Now you will have to put something heavy, you know, don't do the flowers immediately, wait. Put something heavy on this card and train the paper, because this will have to be flat, because the paper will want to go like this. It will want to open. And this is only a very small piece here of the tag here to keep this entire flap down. And it's not strong enough. The paper is stronger, so the push to open will be stronger in the beginning. So push it down, close it like this, and then put something heavy for a couple of hours, and then the paper is trained. So now you can see my card stays relatively flat and closed. Then you can add the flowers. Okay, so let's open it up. And I filled it up like this, but you can of course fill it up any which way you please. I played around with some layering. Here's the metallic piece that I also used underneath here. That is the antique gold by K & Company that I found in my stash. And then I simply cut some decorative pieces here, some little tags and a little piece to write my message. This will say something like happy birthday, enjoy your day, something like that. So the double-sidedness of the paper is key here. If you have single-sided paper, then the effect won't be as nice as this, because then this will be white. You could of course ink it up first before you do all of the layering, but that is just a tip. So I like to play around with double-sided paper that is sturdy to do these kinds of cards. And also this is very easy to do, and it also keeps down the weight. So if you want to send it out by mail, it won't be as heavy as when you would use cardstock as a base. And you don't need as much paper. Hashtag frugal crafting. And easy peasy. So let me wrap up. So these were 6 relatively quick cards. Some were very quick to make, very simple with not a lot of materials. And some were a little bit more elaborate, but not anything extreme. So I hope you enjoyed these. Alright, and we're back. I hope you liked that idea, guys. I hope you found some inspiration from it. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions at all, or if you have any ideas that you would like me to try, or if you have some other comment that you want to share with me. I love to interact with you guys. So if you like this video, don't forget to press the like, and if you want, subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you next time, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye bye!